Jones, a British citizen who works at the European Parliament, had this to say in response.
All I see is my country being made a laughingstock on the European stage because of the poor quality of its politics and its politicians, and he embodies that entirely.
Jones says he plans to become a Belgian citizen so that he can retain the right to live and travel in Europe. One of many lives altered by the decision of 17 million. At Kitty O'Shea's pub, they're wondering what happens next.
I'm Belgian and my husband is English, and so we feel like separated. We're gonna move to France, so we don't know what we are status in France.
Here I feel very welcome because I'm an expat, but in the UK I'm an immigrant, so I'm seeking jobs.
At a pub across from the EU Commission, Nigel Farage enjoys the end of his day. We're blocked from filming, told it's a private meeting. There'll be no more media today.
And today EU leaders are expected to discuss European reform. There seems to be a widespread acknowledgement here in Brussels that there's a disconnect between the EU institutions and ordinary people, and the question is what to do about it. Likely to be a topic of discussion for some time to come. John?
No doubt. They're indeed here. Aaron McLaughlin live this hour in Brussels. Meantime, here in London, thousands marched on Parliament to protest the Leave vote. The rally started in Trafalgar Square, where the crowd shouted pro-EU slogans and chants at Leave advocate Boris Johnson. And more signs of Brexit regret on the UK Parliament's website. More than 4 million people have signed a petition calling for a second referendum. Any petition that gets more than 100,000 signatures is considered for parliamentary debate. Adam Blake joins me here in London. He's the director of Out and Proud, a group that campaigned to leave the EU. Adam, would you agree with the others out there, with basically with the European leaders rather, who are now saying, trigger Article 50, let's do it now, let's get this underway, why delay it any further? This is what you want, right?
Well, I think that what the Prime Minister has set out is very sensible, which is that it should be under the new Prime Minister, under a new government. That is the right time to trigger Article 50. If we triggered it now, we're going to have a situation where we're not going to have a Prime Minister for 2 or possibly 3 months.
You got one now, he's just leaving, that's all.
Well, exactly, and it's a bit of a sitting duck, I think. And you guys in America know the feeling when you have a bit of a period between the new president elected and when someone comes in. There are certain powers that people don't have.
But after wanting to get out of the EU for all of these years, after essentially complaining and protesting and having this referendum, why did you want to get out straight away? I mean, I thought that would be your burning desire.
We don't want to leave the EU because we have some sort of irrational hatred of the EU. We just think that it's not working for us as a country. And so the sensible thing, because we are mostly sensible people, is that we do it in the right way, we have proper negotiations, and we look at what solutions there can be. That means not rushing into things.
Is it a fair argument that leaders like Angela Merkel of Germany are making that you can't cherry pick what you want? It's sort of all or nothing. You can't have the trade deal unless you accept the free movement of immigration, like other countries have accepted with the EU.
I think, like any negotiation, you've got to look at the pros and cons from both sides and come to a compromise. I think that there will be some sticking points on things like immigration, on things like free trade, but everything is on the table, and I think that once we do trigger Article 50, we can start having those discussions. A lot of people want to be having those informal discussions now, of course. Now, Europe has said that they don't really want to have that happen until Article 50 goes in place. It's because they want to have it so long, and it's because they don't want that uncertainty. That's fair enough. But of course, a lot of other countries have started saying, let's get talking about these free trade deals, so things might be moving sooner rather than later.
Although apparently the president of the EU Commission has banned other countries from having those kind of informal talks with Britain.
Well, of course, they're trying to push us into a situation because they don't want uncertainty, and that is absolutely fine. It's completely, of course that's going to happen.
Okay, a lot of people who voted for the Leave campaign may not say they're duped. They didn't expect this kind of outcome. They thought they had an exit. They thought they would be out, but that would be it. Given the fact that so many of the promises that were made are now being walked back, are those people owed an apology?
I don't think any of the promises are being wrote down.
£350 million for the NHS, the fact that many people said it would bring an end to the immigration, and now they're saying, well, hang on, not so fast. Maybe we can't do that after all.
Well, in terms of £350 million, of course, we were not voting for government. We were voting for a framework in which government... But it was never promised that any campaign could make.
It's not a bus.
Well, what the bus said is that £350 million could be spent on other things like NHS. It's never the decision of a campaign, which has no government control.
So you don't think people were misled anyway? Well,
I think that both sides, there's a bit of propaganda, let's call it, on both sides of the debate. But on other things, such as immigration, that's an interesting thing. A lot of people say, oh, are the Leave campaign rowing back on immigration? I know personally, I've never campaigned on immigration. Some people did. But the reason why so many people, like myself, wanted the Vote Leave campaign and not different campaigns to be the official affiliated campaign is because it was the one that wasn't focused on just immigration. And so the fact that we're saying the same messages we were saying before, that's consistency on our side.
Very muddy, though. Okay, Adam. Thanks for coming in. Good to speak to you. Appreciate it. And we'll take a short break here on CNN. Back in a moment.
That's right. Stay twice and get $100 in Wyndham Rewards gift cards. That's true. $100. I love my job. Stay twice and get $100 in Wyndham Rewards gift cards and save up to 25%.
I'm an undercover narcotics agent. My job is to infiltrate the largest drug cartel in the world. Based on the true story, we have a chance to take them all down. Of the unknown hero
You gotta do what we gotta do, man. Anything to stay alive.
who brought down the criminal empire.
One wrong move and we're dead.
Bryan Cranston.
I know who you are. You get caught.
That's very risky business. The Infiltrator, rated R, July 13th.
This is Vi. It's good for you, but still somehow tastes amazing. It doesn't make sense. Kind of like your echo having a cheeky British accent. Hello! Hello, you saucy cock!
Hiring in general kind of sucks. It's really tough. Go to ZipRecruiter.com and post to over 100 of the web's leading job boards with one click. Then, easily select the best candidates from one list. Try it for free today. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/offer6.
Are you happy with your bathroom? I wasn't. I thought I didn't have the money. Till I learned about Bathfitter. Bathfitter puts a new bathtub right over your old one. Isn't that amazing? Bathfitter will measure, make, and install right over your existing tub. And only Bathfitter has seamless walls, which guarantee a watertight fit. Plus, they do it all in just one day. That's my favorite part. Book a free consultation and find out for yourself. Call today or learn more at bathfitter.com. I have a resident named Joy, and she kept complaining about all her aches and pains. And I said, come to class, let's start walking together. And I said, and I bet you money you'll be able to do that senior walk. That day, I said, okay, it's me and you, girl, me and you. I said, well, you need to stop. There's a bench. We'll just hang out and shake. She goes, absolutely not. We are going to finish this race. And we were the last ones in, but you know what? We finished the race. And she goes, Desiree, I'll never quit walking, ever.
Dollar Shave Club. It's the best thing that's happened to me.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast.
This is Life Alert. Are you okay? I'm calling for help right now.
Life Alert saves a life from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver.
If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-492-4211. That's 1-800-492-4211. Call now. 1-800-492-4211. For a free brochure, call 1-800-492-4211.
Closed captioning brought to you by InventHelp. Call 1-888-909-4332.
People ask me all the time, George, what do I do with my idea for a new product? I tell them, call my friends at InventHelp.
Call for free information.
Welcome back, everyone. Turkey's prime minister says he thinks ISIS is behind the suicide attacks at Istanbul's airport. 36 people are dead, nearly 150 others wounded. So far, though, no one has claimed responsibility. The video from the scene is disturbing. A surveillance camera
shows crowds of people running for safety just before one of the explosions. Turkish officials say the 3 attackers took a taxi to the airport and opened fire before detonating their explosives. Now, flights have resumed to and from the airport, and authorities are allowing passengers back inside to check in. Well, like other acts of terror, this one is also playing out on the U.S. presidential campaign trail. Republican Donald Trump says the U.S. needs to be tough.
Many, many people killed, many, many people injured. Folks, there's something going on that's really, really bad. All right, it's bad. And we better get smart, and we better get tough. But we're not going to have much of a country left, okay? It's bad.
Now, Democrat Hillary Clinton released a statement saying this: today's attack is in Istanbul only strengthens our resolve to defeat the forces of terrorism and radical jihadism around the world. And it reminds us that the United States cannot retreat. U.S. lawmakers have finally wrapped up their 2-year investigation into the 2012 Benghazi terror attacks, which claimed the lives of 4 American diplomats. The report, written by Republicans, contains no new revelations about Hillary Clinton's role, but the damage may have already been done to the Democrats' presidential campaign. Jeff Ellen.
Hillary Clinton feeling vindicated tonight.
I think it's pretty clear it's time to move on.
The most exhaustive review yet of the Benghazi attack, revealing no new evidence of wrongdoing by the former Secretary of State.
After more than 2 years and $7 million spent by the Benghazi Committee out of taxpayer funds, it had found nothing to contradict the conclusions of the Independent Accountability Board or the conclusions of the prior multiple earlier investigations.
Visiting Colorado today, Clinton embraced the findings, even while calling out the politics behind it.
This unfortunately took on a partisan tinge.
That suspicion was validated last fall, when House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy suggested Benghazi could topple her candidacy.
Everybody thought Hillary Clinton was unbeatable, right? But we put together a Benghazi special committee, a select committee. What are her numbers today? Her numbers are dropping. Why? Because she's untrustable.
Her 11-hour testimony rallied Democrats behind her.
You know, I would imagine I've thought more about what happened than all of you put together. I've lost more sleep than all of you put together.
And contributed to today's no-fault finding. CNN's Dana Bash asked Chairman Trey Gowdy why no conclusion was reached.
Does that suggest that you don't have the goods on placing any blame on the administration, specifically the woman who wants to be the President of the United States?
Dana, shockingly, that was not what the House asked me to do. Look at the resolution. The resolution doesn't mention Secretary Clinton. Speaker Boehner nor Speaker Ryan have ever asked me to do anything about 2016 presidential politics.
Yet political fallout remains, as Clinton tries rebuilding trust and credibility with voters.
A lot of people tell pollsters they don't trust me. Now, I don't like hearing that. And I've thought a lot about what's behind it.
When asked in a CNN ORC poll who was more honest and trustworthy, only 37% said Clinton and 45% Donald Trump. 17% say neither. She's tackling it head-on in her general election fight with Trump.
And a lot of what people read about me in certain corners of the internet, and a lot of what Donald Trump says about me is just that same nonsense. But I know trust has to be earned.
And that was Jeff Delaney reporting. Now here's how Donald Trump reacted to the Benghazi report. He tweeted, "Benghazi is just another Hillary Clinton failure. It just never seems to work the way it's supposed to with Clinton." Now Hillary Clinton's presidency would be catastrophic for the future of our country. She is ill fit with bad judgment. All right, I'm Amber Walker, everyone. John Voss and Rosemary Church will continue our coverage of the terror attack at the Istanbul airport next on CNN. Stick with us.
You know, we said we'd take a look at our retirement plan today.
I know.
Nice neighborhood.
Nationwide is on your side.